Hey, cleaning business owners, it's Derek Christian with Cleaning Business Today. And today I'm going to get into a little bit of psychology. I know, seems a little deep, but stick with me, it'll make sense. Our brains have a lot of filters on them that are there that we don't even realize. And there's a lot of technical phrases for it, but I call it basically selectivity. And basically, what that means is there's too much stimulus coming at us at any given time, and our brain can't process it all. So, whether we realize it or not, tremendous amounts of what you see and hear you don't actually notice or process. Now, this makes sense. We were evolved in a world where things were hunting us and we could be killed by things. So, when we were out there, our brain learned pretty quickly that, hey, you know what? I don't care about that tree. It's there all the time. I only care if something changes about that tree or if there's a leopard behind it. So eventually your brain stops noticing the tree because it doesn't matter. It only notices things that are different. Now, this affects us in the cleaning business world in two different ways. One of which is our customers. And I see this discussion on Facebook all the time where people will say, this guy's trying to rip me off. He's saying there's damage to this house. I've been cleaning this house for years. That damage on the floors, walls, whatever's been there for years. He's just trying to rip me off. Well, I want you to realize because of selectivity, he may literally have never seen it before. And let me give you a specific example for my business. Had a family we'd cleaned for years, and the wife was normally home when we cleaned, and she was out of town, so she arranged for her husband to be there and said, hey honey, when the cleaners are done, check out the house, make sure everything looks okay. So we did. When they were done, he went through and looked at the house, and then he called me, and he was furious. He's like, Derek, come over here, I need you to see this right away. Your people scuffed up my walls. So I went over there and looked at it, and sure enough, there were hundreds of scuff marks on his walls. But it became pretty obvious to me, we didn't do them. They were high, they were low, they were green, they were red, they were blue, they were all different sizes. In addition to that, he was home. So what, we banged his walls a couple hundred times with different sized and colored objects, and he didn't notice it? I mean, it didn't make a lot of sense to me. But I didn't argue with him. I simply said, hey, we'll do what we can to make it right. Not a big deal. I can clean it with a magic eraser. I can come have a painter fix this hall. We'll get it taken care of. So sorry. Even though I knew we didn't do it. Now, when his wife came home later in the day, he was all proud of himself and said, honey, come here. I want to show you what the cleaners did, and showed him all the scuff marks on the wall. And she went, honey, are you crazy? Those have been there for years since the day we moved in. And she called and apologized. Here's the thing. Even though he'd walked down that hall literally thousands of times, he had never seen the scuff marks before, even though they're there, because they didn't matter to him. His brain just didn't notice it. Until his wife said, honey, check out the cleaning service for me today. So for the first time in his life, he was really walking through and checking the details in his house, saw the scuff marks, which he had never seen before, and he walks down that hall thousands of times, so we must have done it. So understand that even if you think you're being ripped off, a lot of times the customer literally has never noticed it before until they were checking out your cleaning job. Therefore, don't jump to conclusions that they're cheating you. You're gonna have to treat it seriously. And we'll give some more advice on how to handle this in the future, but we wanted to explain this. And by the way, this also affects your cleaners. And your cleaners, if they clean the same house over and over again, can start to get filters and not see things. So that's a topic we're gonna talk about in the future as well. So keep following us at Cleaning Business Today. Hopefully this video was helpful. Thanks.